Welcome back to the RPG Maker MV tutorial series level 2. So we've done maps and NPCs, music and items, monsters and treasure. Now let's get into some simple quests. Let's make a game. Okay, so here we are back in RPG Maker MV. Now let's see what the quest looks like after it's completed. So we'll go to playtest. And if you recall, we talked to Sybil. She says, welcome to the town of Wayport. I'm a hero, I'm looking for work. There's a notice board just over there. Thanks, I'll take a look. Okay, off we go to take a look at the notice board. Help wanted, come see me at my field next to the shop. There's a handy quest! Exclamation mark. I've hurt my back, can you help me harvest my carrots? I'll give you 10 gold per carrot. Sure, I'll help. Thanks so much, I'll open the gate. Okay, now we can go in, click on the carrot. Harvest them one at a time. Harvested 4 carrots, 4 carrots, 4 carrots, and that gives us a total of 16 carrots. Let's see if you've harvested all my carrots. You picked 16 carrots, that's all of them. Promise to give you 10 gold per carrot, here's 160 gold. Thanks for your help. 160 gold. And she now starts to wander around. If we talk to her, she says, thanks for helping me pack my carrots. You're my hero. And that's the end of the quest. Now let's rewind back in time to see how we made it. So to get started on our quest, the very first thing we want to do is put down a notice board. So we switch over to map mode, and we look on tile set B for a notice board. There's one, we click on that. Left click here, and now we have a notice board. So now we just tap F6 or hit the event mode button, go back to the notice board, double click on here, and we want to make sure that it is same as characters so that we can interact with it, and then we'll set up some text. Now here we've put a text box in. It's got help wanted, come see me at my field next to the shop, and we just put in backslash and the arrow symbol. That will display all of this text all at once. We'll put the window position in the middle and the background as dim. Click OK, and then we can test that out. Now we can see, it pops up window, middle of the screen, help wanted, come see me at my field next to the shop. Perfect. Okay, now the next thing to do will be to grab an NPC, and we can adjust this so that she uses the characters from one of our new custom characters that we've just generated in the NPC, custom NPC levels. So, here we are, we chose this wonderful custom character. Okay, and we need to prep the field. We don't want to harvest wheat, we want to harvest carrots. So let's just right click, press F5 to go into map mode, right click to copy the tile. And that's a blank field tile from up in the corner up here. Then you simply left click to apply that tile here, and now we have a blank field. Now we want to be harvesting carrots, so we better create some carrots. So let's go to database, items, and what we'll do is we will actually change the maximum here to 100, and we'll go a bit further up to say 50. Now you can see that they use a little marker here to separate items. So what we might do is we'll just do the same thing. We use a little marker and we'll say quest items. Okay, and that's just blanks because we're not going to be using it, but what we'll do is we'll put our carrots in here. We'll set an icon name, set an icon for it, and so we can see there's actually some carrots there. We'll just paste in a description, carrots, you can eat it or throw it at things that are chasing you, it won't hurt them, but they might eat it instead. Okay, it's a regular item because we're going to keep it, and you can use them at any time in the game. They are consumable because they're food. Scope is 1 ally, you can use them on the menu screen, and we won't worry about the invocation, but what we will do is we'll say that it gives you hit points, recovery of 10 hit points, why not? And we'll click OK to save our carrots. Okay, now we want to set up our field, so let's just make sure that we're in event mode, F6 to go to event mode, and in the image we're going to go down to our tile set B, and we will find our carrots. Click OK, so there we can see our carrots show up now. Now the first thing we want to do when we go and approach the carrots is to show an animation. So we'll click on page 2, show animation, and we're going to do a physical slash. Now in this case it won't make much difference because the player is standing on top of the event, but we'll just put this event anyway, and we'll do wait for completion. And let's do 2 of those. And the next thing we want to do is to change the number of items. So we want to change items. We'll set this to all the way down to quest items, and we'll set the carrots. Make it 4 carrots so it lines up with the image. Next we want to let the player know that they've harvested the carrots, so we'll put in the backslash and the arrow, and if you forget which text options it is to display everything remaining on the same line, for example, you can just hover over text, leave it for a couple of seconds, and up will pop this. And then the next thing to do is simply to do a self switch, A on, then we'll do a new event page, self switch A, and that means that once we've harvested the carrots, they'll disappear. Okay, I can simply copy and paste that event 4 times now, and then save that. Right, now we want to make a gate, so we just double click here in the hole, we turn off walking, set direction fix, and we go down to door 2, we'll choose this, it'll do for now. I want to type in some text, so we'll show text. This gate is locked, maybe the owner can open it. And same thing again, we'll just do backslash and the arrow, not sure exactly what that symbol is called, but it's close enough. Click OK. Okay, we're just going to very quickly label this farm gate, and we need a new event page, and that's going to be activated by self switch A, and nothing will be happening on that page, but we're not going to activate it by itself. Let's just see what the effect of this is. So we've set our starting position, we'll come up here to the gate, try to open the gate, it says gate's locked, maybe the owner can open it. Excellent. Now we see she's moving around, we're going to have to fix that. Right, so if we double click on our NPC, we can see that she's currently moving randomly, so we'll set it to fixed. And at the moment, all she says is something like lovely weather, isn't it? Let's give her something else to say. I've hurt my back, can you help me harvest my carrots? I'll give you 10/G per carrot. /G being the currency. The next thing we want to do is input some choices. So for example, we might say sure I'll help, or harvest your own crops. Okay, and we might just disallow so that they have to make a choice. So if you say sure I'll help, then she would say something like, let's say thanks so much, I'll open the gate. Fantastic. Now the next thing we want to do here is a little bit tricky, so we'll go through it nice and slow. So we're going to double click to get a new event command, and what we want to do is we're actually going to use a script. So it's on page 3, advanced script. I'm just going to paste in the script so we can see what it is. So it's $gameSelfswitches, all in one word, .setValue, then a round bracket, square bracket, and then 4. Now 4 is the map number. We'll check this in a minute, but that's this has to be the event number, so 38 would be the event number. A is switch A, and true is setting it to true. So let's just go and check the event number for the gate, just to make sure that we know what event it is. Now this is 27 farm gate. Okay, and let's just check what map number we're on. So let's see. If I press space on the start map, I can see that this is map ID 1, so that's map 1. And if I click on here and press space, this is map 2. And the world map is map 3. And the fishing village is map 4. Okay, so we know that we're on map 4, and that was event 27. So let's just go back here and just check that again. Map 4 is correct. We need event 27. And it's going to be self-switch A is true. Okay. Now once she's opened the gate, we're going to want her to do her own self-switch. So we'll do her own control self-switch A. If you say harvest your own crops, she might say something like, how rude. Click OK. Now of course if we activate self switch A, we'll need to have a new page to go to, so we'll copy page and we'll paste that, and we'll just delete all this for now, and we'll just have self switch A, and she won't do anything. Let's just test that out. Alright, so testing that out. I'll talk to her. I've had my back, can you help me? Sure, I'll help. Thank you so much, I'll open the gate. Fantastic, that's all working so far. We might just add in a sound effect for the gate opening, so let's just press O, and we might do open 5. Sounds good. Now just to go back over that again, so let's just, we've got $gameSelfswitches.setValue map for event 27A true. So let's just go and have a look at the gate again. So this is event ID 27, that's 27, and remember we said that this gate is locked, maybe the owner can open it, and nothing's happening on this page, but when self switch A is on or true, then the image will disappear and the gate will stop doing anything. So that's why that activate self switch on another event is very useful, because otherwise what I need to do is I need to create a variable for this event and I need to activate it through that variable. But if I don't want to do that, I just want to do one simple activity, I can just use this very simple script here, gameSelfswitches.setValue, map ID, and then event ID, switch ID, and then true or false to switch it off. So once she's opened the gate and she's activated page A, then we're ready to start our side of the quest. So what we want to do is we want to, if we go back and talk to her again after that, what we want her to do is to say something like, have you harvested my carrots yet? Now we're going to show choices, and we might say something like, not yet, or I quit. And then if she might say something like, please hurry, they're ready to harvest. Remember, I'll give you 10G per carrot. Okay, or if you quit, she might say something like, how rude, and then you might say, okay, let's do a self switch. We'll turn self switch A off, and then what we'll do is we'll just close the gate. So we'll grab that script that we had before, we'll copy that, and we'll paste it in here. And we can see that it's set to true at the moment, but we'll set that to false. So now what she'll do is she will actually lock the gate. Can of course set a little sound effect for the gate locking, so it might be, I don't know, close. That'll do. So if we go to test that out, we could just hit play. And we talk to her, I've had my back, sure I'll help. I'll open the gate, there's the gate open. Harvest my carrots yet? I quit. How rude. Gate's closed. And we're back to the very beginning. Right, now the next stage is, we've just, for Carrot Lady, is what happens after we've picked up some carrots. Now if you call from level 1, you can actually set up an item check. And so what we'll do is we'll check if the player has any carrots. So you tick item, carrots. Now the first thing we want to do is we want to create a new variable. We'll set control variables, and we'll change that variable, we'll use number 2, and we'll call it harvested carrots. Okay, we'll set harvested carrots to be equal to game data, and that will be item, and once again we're going to look for carrots. So now, harvested carrots will be equal to the number of carrots that the player is carrying. She's going to say something like, let's see if you've harvested all my carrots. Now we're going to do a conditional. So, if the number of harvested carrots is less than 16, which is how much we want to be aiming for, she's going to say, you only picked /v2. Now this is, if you recall, you can hover over again to get your variable, to get the options here, but if /v gives you the variable and number 2, and so harvested carrots is variable number 2. We can see that. So it's /v, square brackets 2, end square brackets. You only picked 2 carrots, but there should be 16. She could say something else like, please hurry and pick the rest, they're ready to harvest. So that's what happens if you have less than 16. We'll just edit this again, and we'll add an else branch in here now. Else. So if you have 16 or more, what are we going to do? She might say something like, you've picked, once again, /v variable 2, you've picked x carrots, that's all of them. Okay, now we're going to do a little operation on the variable. So we're going to do control variables. We'll take harvested carrots, and we're going to multiply it by 10. And the reason for that is, it will say, I promise to give you 10 gold per carrot. Here is, and then we'll put /v2. Okay, so that's variable 2 harvested carrots, which has now been multiplied by 10. So we start off with 16, multiplied it by 10, so now we've got 160. So we should be saying 160, and that would be /g, which is the currency symbol. Now we want to change gold, and we want to change it by a variable. We're going to change it by the harvested carrots variable, which has now been multiplied by 10, so that it is the amount of gold. You could set up 2 separate variables, or you can just do it in one. We'll play the sound effect of, say, some coins. And then we'll say something like, thank you for your help. Finally, we're going to create a new control switch. So we'll do a switch, and what we'll do is we'll put in here quest 1 complete, and we'll set that to on. So now we know that quest 1 is complete. Now the reason why we're not using a self switch here is because we're going to use that control switch in another event shortly. Now the very last thing we want to do is we'll just copy this event page, we'll paste it, we'll just get rid of all this stuff. We'll set her to random. So now this is what's going to happen after. We'll make this control switch 1. Okay, so that's control switch 2, sorry. And that's after quest 1 is complete. And so what is she going to be doing? She's now going to be walking around the village. As she's walking around the village, if you encounter her, she might do something like show a balloon icon on this event, not on you. And it might be a heart. And she might say something like, thanks for helping me pick my carrots, you're my hero. And that almost brings us to the completion, and the very last thing we want to do is we'll go up into the top left of our map. We'll set up a map events event. We'll set it to run in parallel, and what we're going to do is set a condition. So we'll have conditional branch, and we'll put if Q1 complete is off, and in here we will show a balloon icon, and we'll put it on Q1 carrot lady, exclamation, okay. We won't set it to wait, because otherwise we'll freeze the game every time that it does it, and what we'll do is, but what we will do is we'll add a wait in here. Okay, so on the exclamation, we won't wait for completion, because otherwise the game will freeze while it's waiting for completion. But we will add in a wait at 120 frames before repeating this process. So let's test out our brand new quest. Talk to Sybil. She says, can I help you with anything? There's a notice board over there. Thanks, I'll take a look. We go to our notice board. Help wanted, come see me at my field next to the shop. And we can see that she's sitting there waiting with our exclamation mark. At my back, can you help me harvest my carrots? Thanks so much, I'll open the gate. Okay, if we decide to quit, how rude, she'll close it. Start again. Okay, I'll open the gate. Okay, we harvested 4 carrots. Let's go back and see if we can complete this quest. You've only picked 4 carrots, but there should be 16. Please hurry and pick the rest. Okay. Go and get the rest. See if you've harvested all my carrots. 16 carrots. Here's 160 gold. Thanks for your help. We've got our 160 gold. And off she trots. Thanks for helping me pick my carrots. You're my hero. And she'll say that for the rest of the game. Perfect. So that's our first simple quest completed. In the next episode we'll look at extending that and having a quest that is conditional upon quest 1 being completed before it starts. See you in the next one. That's the end of the video. If you enjoyed it, please consider smashing those like and subscribe buttons, as they do help with the algorithm. Now it's your turn to go make a game. See you in the next one.